Moving on to Saturn, it's in Sagittarius now, of course, still. The big story is the building square to Neptune in Pisces, which is exact Thursday, November 26th. I talked about it last month because it was going to happen a few days after the Sun entered Sagittarius, and I wanted to give you time to think about it. I don't remember what I said about it, so I'm going to start over and give you more ideas, probably a little overlap, but okay, we'll just see what happens here. So Saturn in Sagittarius is about the rules that are defined by what you believe, the rules that are informed and shaped by what you believe and what you expect to be happening. Any planet through Sagittarius is working according to beliefs. Saturn, the planet of work, the taskmaster, is trying to get you to see, sometimes through what look like debilitating or limiting circumstances, what you believe. Saturn coming into Sagittarius might seem great for Sagittarians who want to work hard, right? Or for Geminis who need to shake things up. But Saturn in Sagittarius is holding space for you to see the manifestations of your beliefs. Neptune in Pisces is holding space for you to let go, to surrender to what's true. There's a sense of inevitability with Neptune Pisces 12th house energy. How I often talk about it when I'm cogent, sane, and grounded, when I'm not dealing with my own Pluto in the 12th, sextile Neptune, when I'm not dealing with my own kind of 12th house confusion or Neptunian frustrations. How I typically think of it is the logic that your mind uses to run your life isn't all there is. So there's a logic beyond human logic. You might think of it as the logic of soul or the logic of the manifestation experiment. Here we are running around on Earth playing these games with each other. But Neptune and Pisces hold space for us to realize that what we think, what we intend, what we do, what we resist, that's not all there is. People look at the Neptune and Pisces as somehow indicating perhaps something about the dissolution of ego. I think of, and because some of these people use ego as a four-letter word, being spiritual means not having an ego or backburnering it or something. I don't subscribe to that. And as you know, if you're familiar with the Lucifer stuff that I do, let's have ego, but let's align it with what vibrates as true, to have mind, which is egoic, surrender to heart, which is part of our compassionate nature, which connects us to the Neptunian truth of who we are as souls living human lives, etc. But what you think is happening is not all there is. How you interpret things is probably wrong. And that's the hardest thing living in a Neptunian life, is finding out there's always, I'm projecting upon you. This is something I'm dealing with this week. This 4-decade period of which I'm 43, so it's what I've been dealing with. Sometimes it seems like that's all there is. But what you think is happening is probably wrong. So let's have you orient your thoughts to a higher truth. Now, these two are in square, which is the pressure, friction, tectonic plate energy. What you're seeing manifestations of what you believe, and you're saying this thing that's a Saturn and Sag thing, and then you're saying, but that isn't the truth of what I've been doing. And then the universe is saying, there's a truth here you're not seeing. And you're like, no, I saw, I did, I thought. And the universe is saying, let go. Surrender to what is. If you get out of the way, you find out everything's fine. But if you get worked up, if you get jacked up, amped up, whatever else we could say up, because you don't understand what you're seeing in front of you, then your Saturn function will get all wound up, and the Neptunian truth of, hey, everything's fine the way it is. Can't get through. So look at what stresses you out, if something does. Again, maybe I'm the only person who's having issues, but look at what may stress you out. Look at what seems an impossible barrier. Look at what seems unattainable, or as though it would seem, that to accomplish something, it may seem now that it's impossible to do. Now, that kind of like Saturn sense of impossibility squaring the Neptunian sense, and set the intention every day to relax into accepting what is. And these ocean jasper actually help. So if you're interested in that, go to my site, because they totally help. That's kind of a weird little piece that came out tumbled. That's not on the site. Those are just little party favors, smaller ones. But they help with surrendering to that Neptunian truth. Everything is actually fine. So Saturn in Sagittarius says you got to do something to expand. And Saturn's like, Jupiter's in Virgo. See, I'm right. You got to do something to expand, right? You got to do something earthy in order to expand. And Neptune is saying everything's already perfect the way it is. So if you're getting stressed about something that is on your plate to do or is on your mind, do what you can to let it go, to let it be okay, and to be with that feeling of stress, but know, like decide and know internally that things are fine the way they are. Things unfold the way they need to. You're attracting the experiences you need. All this kind of stuff can, that's the big story with Saturn this month. Moving on to Chiron, it goes. I didn't mention during that little diatribe or monotribe that Neptune and Pisces went direct a few days before the beginning of this solar month. A few days, within a week, I think, before the sun entered Sagittarius. So all of this is in terms of Neptune slow. Sagittarius is not as slow as it could be, but this Neptune is slow, so it's kind of holding this space of the inevitability of the need to surrender. How much are you going to struggle before you surrender? Okay, now thanks. Okay, moving on. Chiron goes direct Saturday, November 28th, just under 17 degrees Pisces. Lots of stuff.